Alright, the next story quest is The Next Ship to Sail, given to us by Alphino in the Rising Stones. Let's see what happens. Mercy, do you have some time to talk? I nod. I would like to gather everyone in Dawn's respite and together assess the situation in which we find ourselves. Cutscene. I'm explaining something to the group as everyone listens and kind of talks. Let us take stock of the facts, shall we? The crisis at hand began with the sudden appearance of ominous towers in a multitude of locations throughout the world. We have since learned that said structures were brought into being by an organization known as the Talaferoi. The Talaferoi's stated purpose is to recreate the final days of eons past, an apocalyptic event that would result in the destruction of all we hold dear. Already have these towers of theirs been the cause of untold suffering. Countless innocents kidnapped and imprisoned, their faith perverted for primal summonings. He nods to her. And unless we find a way to deal with the corruptive aura surrounding the spires, goddamn, we can't even get close enough to rescue anyone. Jesus. I got this. I do. I got this. Those shielded with the blessing of light seem able to resist being tempered, at least. But after what happened to Arenvold and Fordola, we need to be very, very careful about how we proceed. Yet while these threats close to home are of paramount concern, we mustn't lose sight of the situation in Garlemald, says Thancred. As you know, the Talaferoi are under the leadership of Fandaniel and one other delightful fellow, Xenos Ye Galvus, the Crown Prince and our dear friend. To date, he's reclaimed his old body, murdered Emperor Varus, and plunged Garlemald into an even deeper pit of chaos. The capital has probably seen the worst of it, but for a good while there it saw the bloodiest fighting in the War of Succession. But that has since changed, and in troubling ways. Orion J picks it up, I think. Aye, during our reconnaissance, the air was not once rent by the barking of cannons or the cries of discord. 'Twas an eerie fog of silence which did blanket that ruined city. The inhabitants appeared to have been tempered, and with nary a word spoken did they labor to transform the palace into a soaring edifice born of nightmares. If they were indeed made thralls, it seems safe to assume that these events, too, were orchestrated by the Talaferoi, says Y'shtola. He nods. An army of primals is awful enough, but in light of recent developments, I fear it is only the prelude to an even greater catastrophe. Crosses her arms. We need to devise a means to counter this threat, and quickly, before our allies are overwhelmed. Graha's turn, I believe. He does a fist and palm thing. We will find a way in Sharlayan, I am sure of it. Master Fortuno's comments regarding the final days were curious, to say the least. The Forum knows more than it is letting on. Sorry to interrupt, says Tataru. Sorry to interrupt. We've just received word from Mistress Kryle. She says that arrangements for your visit have been finalized. You're to head to Limsa Lominsa and board the next ship bound for Sharlayan. And on arrival, present yourselves as associates of the students of Baldessian, come to assist with the Order's restoration. Looks all around, nods all around, excited faces. The arrangements may have been settled, but what of your thoughts? They must race at the prospect of returning home ever so long. This is Stinian to Alphino. He takes a moment. I'm eager to see it, of course. Of course. We should set off at once. More nods, more fists and palms. Then I'll accompany you to the docks. You need at least one person there to wave and cry and wish you a safe journey. Sister Tara. And one by one, we all file out of the room. Alphino and myself going last. And one by one, and one by one, and one by one, and one by one, and one. Okay, fastest way to get here to Limsa Lominsa would be to use my well, fastest would be to just go straight there via teleport. However, cheapest should be free teleport to Gridania. To pop over to the airship. And then airship. It's somewhat surprising they ever made this free for me, but whatever. Because, you know, of all the good I've done. But it's cool. It's cool, cool, cool. Whatever, guys. Fine. Maybe it... sorry, maybe it costs a lot more for the non-heroes to use, but... 120 kill, obviously it's nothing, but... Or like, not literally nothing, obviously, but... Wait, where do you want me to go? Oh. Why are you having such trouble? Arcanist Guild, okay. That's weird. The Aft Castle Ethernet Shard will take us to the Arcanist Guild. And this is like the secondary port, the one you find out about, you know, in more detail later, because you can take this to go, you can talk to this guy to go to the east, what's it called? Kugane, yeah, Kugane. Tataru's here along with the Scions, we'll talk to her. Everyone's here, which is good, because I've already paid for your passage, and the fee is non-refundable. The ship for Sharlayan should be pulling into port soon, so please follow me and have all your luggage close at hand. Cutscene. Oops, hold on. Popped on my webcam on accident. And I don't like how I look with this headset, so I haven't done it for a long time. These docks are busy, hustle and bustle, passengers, workers, crates being moved around.
They've almost finished loading our cargo. We should be ready to depart right on schedule, or so I'm told.
Scheduled.
Excellent. 'Tis nice to have a smooth beginning to one's journey, at the very least.
It's funny.
Excellent. No, I can't do it. I'm not gonna do that.
Master Louis Soir came here on a ship very much like this one. And now, years later, the street urchin he befriended that day is bound for his mentor's homeland. With his mentor's grandchildren, no less.
Aye. 'Tis upon reflection that every twist of time's river and fate's whims are brought into sharp relief. Thou hast matured much in the intervening years. Wert thou not caught attempting to relieve Master Louis Soir of his purse scant moments after he made landfall upon this dock?
Just a second. Okay. Thancred looks a little bit shocked and then kind of like, you know, gives a little bit of a shrug.
Oh, really? Now that's a tale I'd like to hear.
Some laughter from the others.
Will this be your first visit to Sharlayan, Sir Estinian? Sir Estinian?
Are we strangers newly met? Why this stiff formality?
I, merely meant it as a professional courtesy, since we are now colleagues in an official sense.
I'd rather you dispense with the sirs, especially in private company. Or I'll be forced to respond in kind, little Lord Alphino.
You've made your point, Estinian. Painfully well.
Good.
Better.
Tataru looks a little bit sad.
Are you all right, Tataru? You seem positively distraught.
Distraught? Me? Don't be silly. I think it's lovely that they get to see their homeland.
Oh, where's yours? Is that
It's
the
just... we're trying to thwart the schemes of an army hellbent on destroying the world. And, once again, I have to stay behind and worry that this is the last time I'll get to see my friends.
Yep. Wow. The second one sucks, but I'll rate them both for you. I'll bring them back safe and sound, I promise. Good, not bad. I would have said, come with us then. But the other one, no sense worrying about the things we're powerless to change. Fuck you. No thank you. Like, logically, sure, yeah, but also just no bedside manner at all. And I'm not one known to have the best bedside manner, because I tend to drift to the logical side rather than allowing emotions that don't make sense to me sometimes to... Yeah, anyway. I'll bring them back safe and sound, I promise. It's also a lofty fucking promise.
I'll hold you to that.
And I don't like making that lofty promise, because Totaro will be mad at me. Irrationally, sure. If someone doesn't come back.
Good. You're still here.
Hori Boulder. What's up, bud? And the mage whose name...
Hori! Coulternay!
Coulternay.
What brings you all this way?
Coulternay, I guess.
We're to assist the Maelstrom and the Kobolds with a lunar primal operation, so we thought we'd see you off before heading to the tower.
I don't know if I like the voice they've chosen for him now. I don't know if that's the same voice they had chosen for him before. Was his hair always fiery red, too?
Flamine and the others wish you all a safe journey, and promise that they'll look after things here until you return. We will too, of course. Aye. We, your fellow Scions of the Seventh Dawn, will do our part to ensure the end of the world won't happen on our watch.
Some nods and
We set the sail! All aboard for Sharlayan!
fists and palms. In thanks to Hori Boulder and Coulternay.
It's time.
Then we must delay no longer. We will contact you the moment we learn aught of value. Wish us luck.
Totaro nods. Looks at each and every one of us one last time.
Have a safe journey! And please, please, be careful.
Still smiling, no tears. I'm horrible at goodbyes. I tear up like every fucking time. Every time I visit my parents and then I have to like drive to the airport or drive away if I'm doing a short whatever. It's hard. I don't break down, but I get them tears, yo. I got emotions. I'm not heartless.
And so you venture forth unto the unknown. A fate beyond the horizon that cannot be divined. A future undefined and in flux.
A voice actor for this.
In uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice. That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end.
I'm gonna fight back on that second one.
Treasure every moment, every step of your descent.
Love doesn't always... Well, shit, okay. I was gonna go with the counter argument. If you fall in love, marry that person. If you die first, technically you haven't lost anything aside from your life.
And there, in the depths where souls and stars rest, find your truth.
The camera like dove into the water as the ship was setting sail, and dove deep enough, quickly enough to where black screen, because you know light doesn't really get down super duper far in the water. And we see a world map and our boat symbol, ship symbol, going to Sharlayan. Or old Sharlayan? Not sure. The cutscene is back. Camera kind of panning around the ship we're on the inside here. People talking, having a drink.
Here. Feel.
A good number of people, but not like crowded by any means, it would seem.
Think.
Is this a new voice actress for Heidelin, or is it intentional?
The day has barely dawned, my fellow earlier riser.
Hey, Graha.
Though we're hardly alone in that. Envious of those still sleeping soundly, no doubt.
That hits personally for me. Horrible sleeper. Tried so many different things.
Called out to you, you say? I've heard nothing myself.
My stupid face mask didn't show me that my character was talking to him, so...
In any case, I dare say the sea air will do you good. Why not join the others on deck? Sharlayan should be coming into view at any moment.
So my apologies for not letting the audience know that I was speaking to him about something, as I try to do. Usually there's hand motions, or I'm not on my red mage, which is the only current job that has the face mask. I popped onto my Lalafell male named Ender Prince before I jumped onto this character today, just to mess around with Black Mage again. I'd read that they were changing the way Blizzard works. As we are walking up the stairs, I saw a white-robed being that looked looks kind of ethereal. Looks like the Heidelin we've most recently seen. Kind of long flowing white hair with a horizontal braid.
My voice yet reaches you. I am glad.
A horizontal braid around the back of the head.
Hear, feel, think.
She turns to
And thus do we meet face to face at last. My warrior of light, guided by the crystal.
Bright blue, like aquamarine kind of eyes, I think is the... My options are, why now, Heidelin? Or, I can trust your words no longer. Why now, Heidelin?
After your sojourn in the First, I believe you have your answer.
Just tell me anyway, please.
You have gained an understanding of what I truly am, what Heidelin has always been, a primal.
Okay. But a
Zodiac was created to forestall the apocalypse which threatened the ancient world, and I was brought forth to bind him.
Brought forth by whom? Like, who would oppose an apocalypse? Like, sorry, who would oppose the forestalling of an apocalypse? Like, who would say, no, we want the apocalypse to happen?
Yet 7 times now, those who would orchestrate a return to that bygone era have rejoined a shard to the god I had sundered.
Okay, sorry. Nope, hold on. This gotta be explained to me. FF14. Who summoned Heidelin to stop Zodiac? So Zodiac was summoned in the first place to advert, that's the wrong word, but avert the final, is it the right? No, hold on. Advert is short for advertisement, isn't it? Yeah, no, yeah, so, yeah, use the wrong word there. Not to heroically defeat some ominous force, but simply by existing. So Zodiac was summoned for a good reason, I think. They didn't quite understand the source of the final days, but figured it had something to do with the celestial ether wearing thin in places. So Zodiac rewrote the laws of reality, which in truth meant he was umbrally exciting the celestial ether, bolstering it like an ozone layer to prevent Meteions, Meteions dynamis control from reaching, oh god, I don't know, Aetheris, whatever the fuck those are. Heidelin understood that destroying Zodiac wouldn't do any good, so she sundered him, conveniently sundering the planet and the lives on it as well, to create beings with a higher ratio of dynamis to ether, while also making imperfect beings who would struggle and would thus have a reason to live. Huh. I don't know if that... We don't know the cost to summon Heidelin. We've only heard the story from Emmett's perspective. Huh, okay. Yeah, that doesn't really help me at all. If Zodiac was summoned to prevent... Like, Zodiac summoning seems like it would have been a good thing. But apparently Heidelin...
The greater his strength grows, the swifter does mine own diminish. The power to draw your mind into the rift betwixt is no longer mine to wield. Yet though it taxes me sorely, I dare not leave these words unsaid. Even bereft of my guidance, you and your companions have accepted the burden of this star's troubled past. A conjunction has begun to form, an intertwining of your time and mine.
That doesn't sound good.
Wheels shudder and turn. Conflict looms. Monumental. Which will decide the fate of this world and all life upon it. When you truly understand what is at stake, and your journey has prepared you to surmount the insurmountable, then shall I honor the promise made in another time, another age.
Cast your peepers to the fore, folks. Sharlayan's just over yonder.
I will not keep you further. Your traveler's heart must yearn to behold this unfamiliar land. We shall meet again, and soon.
When I say white hair, it's like silvery white. The robe is also silvery white, goes all the way down to the ground, and then she has this kind of convex silver plate basically covering... It's a circular, silvery, convex plate that covers her breastbone, the sternum, you know. And it's big enough that it... Let's see. If you were to put...
Oh, what a fine morning. Oh, still a bit stiff, though.
The base of each of your palms.
And a good morning to you, too. Taken a look at the island already?
On each nipple. And then interlace
Then
your
let's go.
fingers.
Let's go!
As much
Might
as
still be room in the prow if we're lucky.
As much as they could be with your palms not moving, then that's about the size of that chest circle plate thingy.
Ah, the sleepers have arisen.
That was a week before you.
There she is. Good old Sharlayan.
Or maybe, I don't know. There's
Oh,
delight
I see it.
on Alphinaud's face. We see a port city with some kind of castle.
Home. Home at last. Well, maybe not in Father's eyes. But we'll manage on our own. If we must.
A castle-sized building in the middle.
You do know you're not alone in this, don't you?
Indeed, 'tis as Sir Estinian saith. Forget not the comrades who boarded this ship at your side, I prithee.
Thank you, my friends. We are ever grateful for your steadfast support.
Upon arrival, we will be disembarking into the heart of Sharlayan proper. There is no greater concentration of wisdom in all the world. I am confident that somewhere within that center of knowledge and learning, we will find the answers we seek.
God, I'm suddenly reminded of leveling parties in Final Fantasy XIV that you could form across the world, but if somebody was, before teleportation crystals existed, you would possibly have to wait for 15, 20, 25 minutes, maybe even half an hour, once the party was even formed, for all the members to actually be able to take airships and or boats, ships, whatever, water ships. By the way, this is Endwalker. We see across a sky, a blue sky with, like, oh, there's a moon in the blue sky, but that's fine. Some light pink clouds.
Sharlayan, the solitary island nation of the northern seas.
Oh, so the
where under the watchful gaze of Thaliak, patron deity of scholars, academics hoard all manner of knowledge and secrets.
The waterfall is a female statue.
Once, they deigned to accept foreign students into a distant colony maintained in the Dravanian hinterlands.
It has like this big old jug that's dropping water.
How swiftly they abandoned it once the first Garlean boot set hostile foot on Alamegan soil. So averse to the prosecution of war, these men of wisdom, your would-be allies.
The northern empty, old Sharlayan.
I thought they'd never let us off the ship. What's next then? Entry applications?
Hopefully they find no cause to deny us.
Hasn't Sharlayan all but severed relations with foreign powers? Those of us without direct ties, myself included, may be refused outright.
'Tis true that, as a nation, Sharlayan only forms trade agreements with a select few neutral countries. But from a practical standpoint, an island cannot afford to be overly strict with its borders, especially not if that island's people are wholly devoted to the accumulation of knowledge. If one submits the proper paperwork, with satisfactory evidence of identity and intent, then foreigners may be granted entry.
May.
Quite. So let us be absolutely clear on these points before we proceed. The immigration officer will ask for your affiliation and your purpose of visit. Considering Sharlayan's views on intervention, I strongly suggest we avoid any mention of the Scions. Kral has laid the groundwork for us to act as associates of the students of Baldessian, and our ostensible reason for being here is to aid in their order's restoration. Grahatir, it might expedite our progress should an actual student be seen at the head of our little group. Would you mind leading the way?
Of course. The immigration offices were this way, as I recall. Shall we?
And we follow. Architecture. Beautiful, white.
Greetings. We've just arrived and are eager to make our way into the city.
Stone.
Would you be so kind as to process our entry applications?
Stone walkways with the occasional kind of a deep green ring here and there of also stone. We are talking to a Lalafell female librarian type, round glasses, mousy brown hair. Has some books behind her, has a book open on a desk, a beautiful desk. She sees...
Certainly. I see by your mark you are an Archon.
the mark on his neck.
I am. Grahatir of the Students of Baldessian at your service. I was assigned to an Eorzean survey team, but have returned to assist with the reformation of my order. My associates here will provide additional support.
She's frowning now.
Very good.
Oh.
I have paperwork detailing your group and its scheduled arrival for today.
Or just a stern face, but okay, seems okay.
And it seems some few of your companions are also Archons. If you'll step forward, we can process those applications first.
Orlean J, Y'shtola, and Thancred step forward.
Y'shtola rule.
Orlean J gives his name, Thancred gives his. The Lalafell hovers a hand over this book.
See how it glows?
And it glows.
That list is etherically linked with the citizen registry kept in the main repository.
Alice says that to us.
I've confirmed your status as Archons and amended your travel records accordingly. Welcome home. Now, who do we have here?
She's talking to and about Alphino and Alice, and they step forward.
Alphino Leveilleur.
Oh, they're going last name on this.
And Alize Leveilleur.
Alright. She hovers a hand again over the book. It glows again, but briefly this time.
Your applications have also been approved. Having said that...
Here we go.
The streets are abuzz with talk of how House Leveilleur's lord disowned his young progeny.
They both are just kind of looking down, silent.
And while such personal circumstances constitute no reason to deny you entry, I urge you to avoid exacerbating your present situation. Times are quite troubled enough already.
We shall keep that in mind.
Grahatia looks a little sad.
These last two are not Sharlayan natives, but you will find their credentials are in order. An application was made in advance.
Is that Estinian and myself being the last two? It is. She looks at the book. Back to us.
Name and occupation?
Mercy Valkyr, adventurer by trade. Mercy Valkyr, artisan. Or Mercy Valkyr, champion of Eorzea. Fuck. I don't think they told me what to say. I'm not an artisan, though, for sure. Mercy Valkyr, adventurer by trade.
An adventurer. Well, I suppose that is considered a valid calling in your native Eorzea, and it does indeed match the profile provided. You may enter.
I thought it would be a little bit too pompous to say champion of Eorzea, but now I'm curious what the response would have been.
And you, sir?
Estinian Valino, formerly of the Order of the Knights Dragoon in Ishgard.
Formally, at least. And what, pray tell, is your profession now?
Ass kicker. He kind of looks up and to the left. She stares daggers at him. Or not daggers, but she's looking deep in his soul. He's thinking. And Kryl comes running up.
If you'll allow me... My associate is a mercenary, hired for his strength at arms. Surely you are aware of the dangers we often face on our forays into the wilderness.
Mistress Baldessian, if you insist on sponsoring his entry, then so be it.
Worldly Affairs Official is this Lalafell who we've been talking to. That's at least the title, or I don't know.
But while I appreciate that desperate times call for desperate measures, I find your choice of company concerning. Be advised that even a single misstep may have severe repercussions for your organization.
You can't do shit to us. You guys don't fight in wars. We could take you all. I could take you all. Just AoE you down.
I have every confidence in my chosen company, dear and trusted comrades that they are. But I thank you for your concern.
I like Kryl because of the mixture of who she is. Very serious scholar, very intelligent, but has this yellow, cat-eared robe that she wears.
It is good to see you.
Maybe more of like a long jacket, but the yellow cat ears are cute as fuck.
Likewise. Long voyage notwithstanding, you will seem none the worse for wear. There is much to discuss, but this is hardly the place. Let's be on our way, shall we? Oh! Welcome, friends, to Sharlayan.
She says to me and Estinian specifically. He
As
smiles.
your mercenary, I should hope my welcome includes a generous salary.
Well, I had to say something, Sir Taciturn.
Right. What's my... Okay, we'll do Dragoon. If I was on Dragoon this whole time, we would have seen facial expressions, but I wasn't, because I suck at life, so we didn't. I will talk to Kryl here to end the quest. I'm glad I spotted you're coming into the port. The officers are born bureaucrats and sticklers for detail. In any case, you may relax and take a moment to get your land legs back. The next ship to sail is complete. I get a horse chestnut weapon coffer of item level 515. I don't think any of my characters need it, because I got 530 from stuff and things now. God, there was something I wanted to say. Shoot. Okay, the next video will be the Endwalker opening credits, because I like to do that for every expansion when I finally reach it. So look forward to that if you've never seen it before, and I've never seen it before, so it'll be fun. I will try to describe what's happening in the video while also trying not to talk over anybody, and it's a delicate balance. It's not easy at all, but I do my best. There will be a link in the description of this video that will send you to my Google Doc PowerPoint where every slide is an item on Amazon that I recommend because I actually use them and purchase them if I run out of stock. And obviously, or I would hope it was obvious, that the more permanent items, like even the spork or the thermos that I use for my food every day, they've lasted forever. They're great. Not literally forever. They've lasted since I purchased them, but whatever. If you drop these vacuum sealed things in such a way that it damages the vacuum seal, then yeah, it kind of messes up the whole idea. And that's why I've had to purchase new water bottles every once in a while, because I have dropped one. But I've also dropped the one I currently use a couple times with no negative results, and that one is actually one of the items that is on my PowerPoint. But if you purchase any of those items with a link on that particular slide, I will get a small cut. I will see you next time. Bye bye for now.